What's going on, everybody? And what's going on, folks? Welcome to the Deconstructing Topic podcast. And my name is David. And wait a minute, you are indeed listening to some mellow music. Just hey, listen, we got a good one today. We got one of those life lessons. It's going to be a good one. Little, 10, 15 minutes. Give me a little bit of 10, 15 minutes of your time, and we definitely going to make it happen. Because I am your legendary host of the Deconstructing Topic podcast. I tell you, time is passing. There's so much going on in this world and in life, and I'm focused and focused. And once again, I always tell my audience out there, I am and will bring a lot of the content because I want to educate my people out there that are listening. And from day one, day two, whatever it is, wherever you catch me on the YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any platform that you listen to my podcast. It's a deconstructed topic podcast. And I'm telling you, sometimes it's hard to juggle life in a sense in the balance. And, that's why I created this little episode here because sometimes I catch myself in life, and this happens to many people, is that there are things that kind of tend to kind of repeat in itself, whether it's the second, third time around, whether it's a scenario, situation, whether it's at work, whether it's your family, whether it's your financial, whether it's all this and that. It kind of, in a sense, how can we kind of stop from things to repeat? And sadly, hey, listen, that's life. And one of the things in life, and one of the things about humanity and human history is that history tends to repeat itself, and life things tend to repeat itself. For the sake of, hey, listen. That's just what life is all about. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to kind of sugarcoat it or try to bring a philosophy in it. It's just that the question would be, what do we learn the second time around? And this is why I said, you know what? You could catch me everywhere. And I'm also on TJuice TV. The description would be, or the information would be on my description. And I always tell my peoples, everybody, if you're listening to and if you're an ongoing person listening to my podcast, the like button, it means a lot. It means a lot. You know what I mean? The comment and all that good stuff. Hey, listen, we moving the dial here. And this is why in today's podcast, we definitely got a good one. Because sometimes I feel, and I'm not gonna say sometimes, it's like there are things that happen that you kind of wait a minute. It's like this movie that I just hit rewind, and I'm like looking at myself in the side, and it's like, okay, it's like I seen this movie before. And sometimes, those little actions in life that if a scenario happens, and if you feel that kind of like that deja vu, and deja vu is like, that little feeling with something, I've been there, done that, but where, when, how? So that's the question. That is that question. And shall we ask that question? What do you do? What do you do in life when you get this little feeling because something happened, whether it's a scenario, whatever situation, well, there's something in life where you say, "Damn, I feel like I've been there. What am I supposed to do? What do I remember the first time around that didn't work out or it worked out?" And I want my audience out there or anybody that's listening to just think about that situation. And I'm not trying to, I want to separate from an episode where life is giving you a second chance. I'm trying to avoid going to that path. Because some people was like, okay, David, what does that mean? What are you trying to get at here in regards to, life, things happening the same or something that's repeating in itself or something to that effect? And there's been many situations, and I guarantee you, and I've come across so many people. I got a great circle of friends all over the place from work, outside of work, to the gym. Everywhere I go, I'm there. And I've built a good rapport with many people that have opened up to me. And sometimes it sounds like there's people that you'd be like, okay, wait a minute. Didn't this happen to you? Didn't you learn anything from the first time around? And that's what I want my people to do. I want anybody that's listening to this, once again, is that whenever you feel that way, you got to kind of hit the pause button in a sense. Kind of like, whoa, time out. For those people that love sports, hey, listen, I'm a sports person. And time out means pause. Time out, like, hold on. What's going on, Travis? What's going on, Travis? And you gotta have to assess the situation. Number one, you're gonna probably wonder why did that happen? Why is it happening again? Did I manifest that same situation? Am I attracted to that same situation? Do I want to be in that situation, the same situation? What's going on? Because the other day, as I'm leaving the gym, and then, I got this little epiphany. That's why I love going to the gym in the morning. I'm like the Puerto Rican rooster, as I always said, kudo, kudo. Waking up early, doing my thing in the gym, walking to work. A little epiphany, like, it hit me like if I don't know, man. Have you ever, seen those movies of people in these pirate ships shooting a cannon? You see how loud the cannon, like, boom! Kind of felt that way. Like, it was like a loud sound, even though there was no sound, but it was just an internal voice, an eternal feeling, like, bam. And I had this little epiphany, and it was a reminder of something. And that was like a domino effect. There was this conversation that I had with somebody that it became a domino effect, that it started kind of reminding me of things that I have manifested over here, throwing a cap, throwing a S, T, whatever it is might be, but you get the gist, and it reminds me, like, I remember this. And I remember from being to point A, thinking I'm going to be in point B, and years apart, that's what happened. And I'm like, okay. And having this conversation is like, wait a minute. I've been here before. Interesting. And just because I've been there before, it may be, and I channel that in a thing, and sometimes memories, hey, listen, I understand as we sometimes get older, people might not have good memory. People might have whatever memory. People have short-term memory, long-term memory. But there is this thing in our brain that we do remember something that you just said to yourself, okay, what am I going to learn now? How can I do this different than the first time? Especially if I'm going to lean that something didn't work. And I don't want, a lot of my peoples out there, which I love. You already know the Deconstructing Topic podcast. My deconstructors. Woo! I don't want my people to once again be in this situation where something happened again and you get flustered. It's like, oh man, it happened again. What should I do? What's going on? Just relax. Pause there for a second. I'm over here making movement on my chair. People gonna be like, David, got some extra sounds over there in the background. What's going on? Hey, sitting in a leather seat. Hey, let's go. Hey, one day I'll sit in a gold throne. No, I'm just kidding. Watch a lot of fantasies out there, fantasy shows, but this hear me out. Because the other day I'm talking to one of my brothers in arms, and they telling a story that it's like, I could have sworn you told me that story before. Well, this time is a different. And I'm like, well, what's different? The characters, what's different? It's the same story, just different characters. And that's where I want people to like kind of hit that pause and like, hold on. Believe it or not, there's so many situations that happen to us in life that it has happened before. And when it happened before, it doesn't matter whether it's 2 years ago, 5, 10, 15. Listen, I'm dealing with a situation that I'm basically dealing with for 9 years. And it's one of those things where I said to myself, hey, listen, I cannot become the person I can become if this certain thing is just repeating. So then what you gonna do? See, and that's the question that you're gonna ask yourself. Because sometimes in life, sadly, as much as I come across so many people who take pride in their intelligence, thinking outside of the box. Hey, listen, I take pride of thinking on my own. But it doesn't mean that there's something that I have a weakness for, that I tend to kind of fall, or something where I'm like, oh my God, it's kind of like going to a candy store, if you will, somewhere where we go, and then your weakness is like, oh man, I love chocolate chip popcorn. despite the fact that the doctor said don't eat that anymore, or at least limit it. But there's people, again, we're going to fall into these patterns and so on that leads us to have that experience that, oh my God, this happened again, or it's happening again. When you get that notion and you get that little thing going on and that little feeling, that deja vu, please think about that. When I was walking in the gym talking about that epiphany, I kind of remember something. And one of the things that I've said, it's like, don't wait until life gives you another wake up call. You understand what I'm saying? And sometimes, sadly, we need these wake up calls, but sometimes it seems that we procrastinate that something happened, whether somebody got sick, hurt, passed away, something drastic happened that you'd be like, oh my God, it's a wake up call. Please do not, please. I think that at this point in my life, at this point in your life, we don't need no more wake up calls. We should be expecting what life give us. As long as we are alive, we know that a lot of bad things will happen. Not only just to us, to our friends, family, things that surround us, things that we have no control. And that's where that situation, as when I'm talking to this individual, I get that sense like, whoa, whoa, I heard this conversation before. Like, hold on. Because sometimes in life, what happens to you that when things happen again and you don't learn from it the first time, it's going to hit you harder the second time around. So that's why you got to hit a pause button. You got to think. You got to be like, and especially if you're somebody that have lived in life, has lived in this earth for a little bit, longer than others. You don't want to wait until you're 70, 60, 50, sometimes 40. Obviously life kind of becomes a little bit different after 40. But you don't want to hit 50, 60 still with the same thing over and over and over. Somewhere you have to do something, especially if life is giving you the same scenario in which you did not learn from before. So this is like a little life lesson, kind of like a little advice. And I'm basking on this advice because someone reached out to me and told me, hey, wait a minute. Remember this, what we spoke about? And I said, yeah, huh. And they were showing me an article of a person who was in rock bottom and they were on a mission. In a 1-year mission, they were able to go from rock bottom to at least touch a rock. Think about that. That's the same. Rock bottom means the low of the lowest, right? It's always get that saying of, you're going so deep, so low that the only thing that you're going to touch is a rock. That's earth. But I said to myself, okay, there's only one way to go up. And it kind of reminds me of that thing. And that's when I had that epiphany of things that I said to myself, I need to manifest. And I am manifesting. Because I'm on a mission and we all should be on a mission of let's not allow life to dictate how we live and things happening over and over and over. Anyways, that's my little thing, my little life lesson. Just time out. Whenever you get that hit right there that says, woo, I've seen this movie before. Hit the pause button and then hit play whenever you're ready to make it happen again. This is your boy, Deconstructing Topic Podcast. Once again, catch me all over. All the information will be on my description because you already know in my podcast, saving the mind is saving a life. Look at me. I'm over here also thinking about other models out there because we got only each other. But let's make it happen. The Constructing Top Podcast. I'm out. Peace.